Breaking news, the verdict in the sanity trial of the Capital Gazette shooter, but the jury decided about the fate of the man who admitted to killing 5 employees of the newspaper.
Ankle monitors failing to keep track of convicted criminals. New today, Fox 45 News questions what can be done to prevent tragedies like this from happening again.
Baltimore residents fighting the city to keep their homes. Fox 45 News sheds light on their struggle and the legal action they're taking.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News at 4.
And first at 4, breaking news. A jury finds the Capital Gazette shooter criminally responsible for killing 5 people at the newspaper.
Now, this verdict means Jared Ramos will be sentenced to prison, not a maximum security psychiatric hospital. This time around, the court was deciding if Ramos was not criminally responsible due to insanity. The jury deliberated less than 2 hours. The judge said sentencing will likely take place in about 8 weeks. The state's attorney says Ramos is facing 5 life sentences without the opportunity for parole.
Now, right now, Capital Gazette employees, including Paul Gillespie right there, are speaking. Let's listen in.
Even with all these weeks of testimony and stuff, I think they, kind of knew what he'd done, and he wasn't crazy.
Is there anyone else to say anything? Can answer any questions?
My name's Summerlee Geimer. I'm Wendy Winter's youngest child. I'm here with my sister today. My other 2 siblings couldn't be here, but we are all glad that at least some of our family could witness a fair trial, and we are so grateful to the state's attorney and everyone in the offices and all the first responders and everyone who testified and had the courage to get up there and tell their story, and especially to the jury who had to see what the survivors saw. And they saw some very horrible, harrowing images and videos, and it felt a lot like reliving her death for the first days, but I'm glad that we're able to see this through, and we're just very grateful for the efforts of everyone that had to be here for this.
One of the legacies that the state's attorney said was the legacy of your mom. Can you talk about what you want the legacy of this trial to be?
Yes, I do believe the legacy of Wendy Winter should live on. I hope that her name may be the one that lives in infancy instead of the defendant. I do not believe that he should live on as a name that needs to be remembered. I cannot wait to forget his name.
Wendy saved my life.
Truly a hero. She saved my daughter's life.
I can, yeah.
Touching on Wendy, when we got in there and I had heard, what happened being described, I almost burst into tears because there's no way I'm going to be able to, there's no words that I can say to say how much I believe that Wendy is a true hero, especially, grabbing that trash can and running to go to protect my sister. Hearing that absolutely broke me. And when I didn't know what to expect coming back when I found that the jury had been called back, they had called us back within an hour. I didn't know what to expect. I've never been in any kind of situation like this before. I don't think any of us really, but when I got in there and I heard everything that happened, it just a huge sigh of relief. You could hear it throughout the courtroom, but you could also feel it physically to know that, like how I can finally let my sister start to rest in peace and could just think about all the good times that I had instead of having to relive this horrible tragedy over and over again.
Can you say your name one more time?
It's Cindy Rittenauer.
Can you spell your last name?
It's Ritteneur.
All right, and we just heard from the daughters of Wendy Winters. people who were talking about her heroism in the Capital Gazette. She was one of the victims of the Capital Gazette shooting. She was also awarded the Carnegie Medal for heroism because of her actions on that day. Now, we're hearing from, obviously, victims and family members of victims right now. We're also going to hear from the Anne Arundel County State's Attorney, Ann Colt Lightus, after the verdict.
I don't think I ever doubted that we would be here where we are today, but it was a very long journey, and I knew to get here I'd have to put in a lot of work and have to prove, even though it wasn't our burden, that I'd have to prove to our jurors that what Mr. Ramos was doing was revenge, that it wasn't mental health disorder. And I think the problem is that a lot of people hear this crime and think he must have been crazy. You must be crazy to commit this kind of crime. But he wasn't. It was all about revenge.
Well, these are the faces Jared Ramos gunned down 3 years ago. John McNamara was a sports writer. His colleagues say it was his dream job. Wendy Winters, as we just mentioned, was a special publications editor. Her colleagues say she was the heart of the newspaper.
Rob Hyacin had just celebrated his 33rd wedding anniversary a week before the shooting. He was an assistant editor at the paper. And of course, you're seeing there, Gerald Fishman was the editorial page editor at the Capital Gazette. Fishman had worked at the paper for 26 years.
And Rebecca Smith was a sales assistant who was recently hired. Her boss says she'd already proven herself to be a valuable asset.
Right now, the Faces of the Capital Gazette exhibit is on display at the Michael Bush Annapolis Library. The project features 28 people connected by the shooting, including some of the survivors of the attack. Photojournalist Paul Gillespie, who we saw at the mic just moments ago, is the man behind the project. He says it honors his family at the Capital Gazette. The exhibit runs through the end of the month. We also featured Paul's photos when his exhibit first opened a year after the shooting. You can see our story, The Portraits of Grief, right now on foxbaltimore.com.
You can be the first to know about breaking news by signing up for News on the Go. Go to foxbaltimore.com and click on Mobile Alert Sign Up under the Station tab. You can also download the Fox 45 app for your smartphone. Search WBFF in your app store. Developing right now, questions are emerging about how Maryland monitors criminal offenders, like the man accused in the shooting death of a Naval Academy midshipman's mother.
At the time of Michelle Cummings' murder, police say suspect Angelo Harrod was a fugitive who had cut off his ankle monitor.
Alexa Ashwell is live with questions about the effectiveness of home detention. Alexa.
Yes, Kai, Mary, police say Harrod was on the run for nearly 2 months when he shot and killed Michelle Cummings. Police say he cut off his ankle monitor, and he's not the first offender to do so. At the time of Michelle Cummings' murder, suspect Angelo Harrod was supposed to be on home confinement. Annapolis police revealing the 29-year-old removed his ankle monitor back in May and had been on the run ever since.
He cut the ankle bracelet off, and he was and absconded from his home and became a fugitive.
Harrod not the first to remove his ankle monitor. Garrick Powell, the man now charged in the January shooting death of Baltimore City Safe Streets worker Dante Barksdale, also removed his bracelet while on home confinement for a drug charge out of Anne Arundel County. This just months before his arrest for Barksdale's murder. Mayor Brandon Scott then speaking to questions about the effectiveness of the electronic monitoring system.
Clearly, it's not working the way it should be.
Somebody just ran over a cop.
Then there's Dante Harris, who fatally ran down Baltimore County Police Officer Amy Caprio in a stolen Jeep back in 2018. Harris on house arrest and wearing a court-ordered ankle monitor at the time.
Our worst and most tragic case was the death of Officer Amy Caprio.
Overall, Baltimore County State's Attorney Scott Schellenberger believes the home monitoring system is successful but not foolproof. And to look at where it may be falling short would involve examining each jurisdiction. Home monitoring programs are run by county.
You are a judge, you're in a courtroom, you're listening to a bail review, you're hearing from my people, you're hearing from the defense side. You have to make a quick judgment call about whether this particular person goes to jail or is on home confinement.
Federal prosecutors stress swiftly tracking down these offenders is also key.
It's important for all of us to be vigilant, but also to maintain that collaboration with the local, federal, and state levels so that we can keep track of people who we know are trying to evade the system.
And right now, Harad is being held without bond. At 5, we dig into his lengthy criminal history. Reporting live, Alexa Ashwell, Fox 45 News.
Alexa, thank you. This brings us to our question of the day. Who is most to blame for repeat offenders in Maryland? Lawmakers, judges, prosecutors, or all of the above? You can weigh in by heading to foxbaltimore.com/vote.
We have an update right now on the newborn baby found near a bike path in Glen Burnie yesterday. Police say they have found the girl's mother. Officers say the woman is getting medical treatment, and the investigation is still ongoing. And right now, there is no update on if charges will be filed in the case. The baby girl was taken to the hospital yesterday, and doctors say she's doing well.
Well, new today, 2 Baltimore police officers are now out of the hospital. Pictures show officers, U.S. Marshals, and medical staff lining the exit yesterday at Shock Trauma. The officers were shot while trying to serve an arrest warrant in Baltimore County this week. They were part of the city's warrant apprehension task force. That task force is in charge of arresting the city's most violent offenders.
Oh my God, you guys!
Wow. Take a look at this. Heavy rains in Flagstaff, Arizona, create raging rivers on neighborhood streets. Flash flooding, carrying a Toyota Prius down the block and slamming it into another parked car. The woman behind the camera yells before urging her loved ones to get inside. Oh, that's frightening.
Sure is. Well, the flooding terrifying for a father and his 2 daughters as their car is swept away. Firefighters rescued the family, who had to escape through the roof of their car. Thankfully, no one was hurt. They made it to dry ground. Now, here in Baltimore, the heat continues.
It does. Jonathan Myers is here right now. But Jonathan, how much does that video illustrate what you try and express when we get flash flooding?
Yeah, you know, when we say turn around, don't drown, that's what we mean.
Yeah,
it doesn't take much, only a couple of feet of water, and that floats a car. Like you saw that Prius there.
So you don't stand a chance being a person standing in that kind of water.
That just takes like 6 inches, and you can be tossed off
And
your
we
feet,
saw
so.
Ellicott City that, you know, that's what that reminds me of when I see it.
Mary.
Super dangerous. That's the monsoon out there. Typical to have thunderstorms, maybe not that type of flooding, but in Arizona this time of year. And around here, it's typically hot, and yeah, it is hot again today. Maybe not as humid as it has been, at least earlier this week, but still 93, that continues the heat wave here in Baltimore at BWI, Inner Harbor at 90, and a lot of 90s elsewhere. Now the heat index a little better with the humidity coming down a touch, just like yesterday. Only one spot really kind of in that danger zone, if you will. That is Denton at 106. Everybody is generally in the 95 to 100 range, so we're still sweating it out. 6, 7 p.m. If you're going out to dinner, probably after sunset's the best time as we drop back down into the 80s. I'm going to let you know how long we hold on to the 90s and when showers and storms may move in, and if that's going to affect your weekend plans in a couple of minutes.
Jonathan, thanks. Murders and shootings in Baltimore are outpacing last year's rate. Fox 45 News takes your concerns to Maryland's acting U.S. attorney about what can be done to hold criminals more accountable.
Direct child tax credits are rolling out today, why President Biden calls this an historic day.
Baltimore pushes to redevelop a neighborhood using eminent domain. Coming up next, residents fight to stay in their homes, saying it's not the kind of development they want.